Hello, 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 everyone. My name is Renetta Gunn Stevens. I am the CEO of Sophisticated Press. And welcome, welcome, welcome to our Facebook Live. Today we have a very important message for our 9-to-5ers. This message today will be particular for people who have jobs, for individuals who have a working career. So when you come in, I want you to share this and be a good business bestie with all of your entrepreneurs that still have jobs, or your friends that have jobs and they're thinking about entrepreneurship. This is going to be a very informative live for them, okay? Hey, Imani, when you come in, do me a favor, please put in the comments the state that you are coming in from. And yeah, let's just tag and share, and let's begin to get a lot of people on this live so we can have some great engagement. While you're coming in, if you're catching us on the replay, do me a favor. Follow us on all social media platforms. On Instagram, we are Sophisticated Press. On Twitter, we are Sophie Press. And guess what? We have a YouTube channel, and I would love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and look at all of our previous live videos. Our goal here at Sophisticated Press is to present lives that will be able to enhance you and that you'll be able to take notes off of. And then after you're taking your notes, our goal is for you to incorporate immediately what we share with you. So hopefully we're doing a good job at that. If we are not doing a good job at that, please email us at sophisticatedpress@gmail.com, and we will be happy to take your suggestions, okay? So, quick bio about myself. My name is Renetta Gunn Stevens. I am the CEO of Sophisticated Press. I'm also a published author of 3 books: A Dad's Redemption, Kingdom Speaking in the Boardroom, and 10 Ways to Eliminate Debt. Our company, Sophisticated Press, has our first book coming out this month, and it's called Push, Promote Until Shipping and Handling Happens. And the reason why we named the book Push and we wrote a book about promoting is because we deal with a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of authors, and one of the things that they are having problems with is promoting. And so we wanted to just share some industry trends and industry resources like apps and strategies that we have learned, and we wanted to share it with you. But we want to share it with you at a reasonable price. So the book is $15.99, and we got that book at that price for our pre-order price. But next week it will be going up, and next week you will be paying for shipping. So while it's still just a free digital preview, I encourage you to purchase the book for yourself. And then after you purchase the book for yourself, think about 3 other people that may be blessed by the book and purchase 3 copies for them, okay? So today we're going to be talking about how, when I was working in corporate, how writing a book helped me to get promoted on the job. And you all listen, I can just tell you, I was not planning on talking about this, but the Lord would have me to talk about it to people who have a job, because there are a lot of people that get into entrepreneurship or hear entrepreneurs talk, and they kind of feel pressure to leave their job. They kind of feel pressured that if they still working a 9-to-5, that they're not a real entrepreneur. Or they kind of feel like, if I don't leave my job, my faith is not big enough. And so I want to help you, and I want to help you because I've been there before. And I want to explain to you my process, and hopefully during my process of me explaining this to you, it will help you kind of go through your process, and it also will help you kind of prevent from making some of the mistakes I made when I was a 9-to-5er, okay? Now, just for clarity, let's say your schedule is a 9-to-5, your schedule is 3 to 12, 12 to 3, whatever your schedule is, this is for people who have a job and who wants to come into being an entrepreneur. So as many of you know, if you don't know, you're going to find out today. Yes, I was in the medical field. I was a claims adjuster for one of the top MCOs, which is a managed care organization in Illinois. And so I have a medical billing and coding certificate. I was a CNA before. So I've always liked the medical field. So I'm coming from a medical field perspective, okay? And so while I was working in the medical field as a claim adjuster, and started off just as a customer service representative, I had always knew that I wanted to write a book. And I just, every job I would tell people that I'm writing a book, and they would say, okay, where's the book at? And I never had the book. But something happened one day when I decided to go ahead and complete the book. And this is where we're going to take off with the lessons. So my first book, when I published my first book, this is a copy of my first book, you all. Notice how it's not that thick. The pictures, you know, just regular stock image. The font's just regular stock. But a lot of lessons came with writing a book that I was able to carry over into my job. Now, when I was writing a book, I did not know that me writing this book was going to be able to transform into so many skills that my current job as a customer service rep was going to, that the book was actually going to get me promoted. Now, this isn't anything about me, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? I didn't bribe anybody for the promotions. I didn't do any of that. I just simply wrote a book, and the skills I learned from writing a book carried over to my job. So the first skill that carried over into my job from writing a book was my writing got better. Because I was already writing to, you know, practicing writing and putting in my writing hours on my book. And before you know it, you'll see me looking at some of my notes. Before you know it, I was writing team emails. I was writing team updates. I was writing reports. And I was like, man, my writing is getting better. And I realized my writing was getting better because I was writing a book as well. And so that was the first thing that I realized, like, wow, writing this book is helping me to write better emails. It's helping me to be a better communicator. And then I just started, when I would see on our intranet inside our medical office, updates on policies and regulations, because in the medical field, there's always updates and policies that are regulated. I would begin to take it upon myself without the direction of my manager at the time, and I would just send out an update to the team. Hey team, I noticed that this changed today. I wanted to just make sure that we remember that when we're on the calls today. Again, nobody told me to do it, but I just began to write better, and with my writing skills, I began to use them on the job and send out updates on emails, updates on regulations. By doing this, I began to start catching the eye of upper management. Why? Because they didn't have to tell me to give those updates, but I was doing them, which took pressure off of them. That was one less to do thing on their list. Walk with me, okay? Hey Alice, welcome. That was one less thing that they had to do. My editing started getting better too with the writing, because even today, you all, and you may see it on some of my social media posts, I'll ask a question and put a period behind it. Just a weakness of mine. I'm okay with that because they got editors. I'm a publisher. I'm not an editor. But I did notice that I was still able to now catch it more than I was before. Before, I would write 4 questions and 4 periods, and it didn't even stand out to me that I had did that. But now, as I was writing this first book, I was beginning to catch the errors and the punctuations and the grammar. And I'm like, wow, this writing a book is, oh, definitely. I understand, Alice. Thank you for listening. I was like, wow, my writing is getting better. So then after writing a book, I started realizing that, man, I'm able to do planning better. My project management skills got better. My time management skills got better. I was starting to meet more deadlines. And I was like, where is these new skills coming from? Not knowing, again, you all, it was coming from when I was working my 9 to 5. It was coming from because I had wrote this book. I didn't realize that I had deadlines and that this book was a project, and I had to be the team lead of this project of getting it self-published. That now I was becoming good at project management. I was becoming good at team management, right? So now not only am I being a good project manager of my book, now because of the updates that I'm sending out, the management is looking at me on the job and they're like, okay, well, let's see if she can handle this stretch assignment, right? Stretch assignments. We're talking to the 9-to-5ers today. And we're walking you through the process of how to get promoted on your job and how to get the life lessons that you need on your job before you leave your job and try to run a business. Because if you do it prematurely, you're going to be back working within 3 to 6 months. Okay? So, by me working on this book, I'm getting my planning skills. I'm learning how to outsource. I'm learning how to delegate. I'm learning how to not just try to do everything by myself, but look at the other team members that's on my team on the job and see what can they do and what can this person do and who is the best person for the job so I don't have to do it all together. And now I'm learning project management. All because I wrote a book, right? So I'm constantly still writing a book. Then I'm learning that I'm being identified as now an expert at the job and on the team. Next thing you know, they have these special projects that require special teams. And now I'm being recognized as somebody that should be on the special team. Why? Because my writing skills and got better. My planning skills and got better. So now I have made it to the team leads. And with the team leads, that was the first promotion. With the team leads, there was like $1.50 raise because now I'm with the team leads, right? So now with the team leads, you'll see me looking at some of my, you'll see me looking at my notes. With the team leads, now we had all of these projects that we had to do that was for the executives. And we had to learn how to prioritize tasks. We had to learn how to see which one was more important and how to get them done in the order of importance. We had to also learn how to just embrace large tasks, right? When you're on the job, they're telling you literally what they're looking for. They're looking for leaders, and they even tell you we're looking for innovation. We're looking for leaders. We're looking for people who have creativity. And a lot of people, they want a manager position, or they want the CEO position, or they want the VP position. But are you showing the characteristics that they're looking for? And I'm telling you that what I did was, by me publishing a book, it gave me those skill sets that I would have had to go to maybe like a inner academy that some of the jobs offer, right? Or I would have had to work another 2 to 3 years to get those skills. When I decided to self-publish a book and I dove into the process and did the process totally, I was able to get these skills that transferred over to my job, and I was noticing that I was starting to get promoted at a very high speed rate. So now I'm on the team leads, and now I'm asking for projects. Why? Because this was a big project. This little book, this skinny book, it was still a big project to finish. And by me finishing it, I was starting to gain skills. And now when there was a large task that needed to be done, that the executive needed to find someone to do it, I wasn't shying away and looking away like, please don't pick me, please don't pick me. I was actually now looking towards them saying, I'll do it. I'm willing to try. I'll take that stretch assignment. Who want to be in charge of the emails? I'll do the emails, right? Why? Because constantly you're writing a book just start to, it's like a muscle, right? On your skills, on your professional skills. And the more you use them in writing a book, the stronger your skills get. And before you know it, if you're working your 9 to 5, those skills are going to begin to be displayed on your job, or at least they should be. At least they should be, okay? So now my perspective is changing. I'm looking at stretch assignments like, yeah, give me all the stretch assignments, because with these stretch assignments was coming overtime, right? So now not only did I get $1.50 raise for the first promotion, now I'm able to get unlimited overtime. Why? Because they trust me to do the job, and now they're giving me clearance to get unlimited overtime. So now that's money on top of money. Why? Because I published a book. Let's go further. Now, with this newfound identity on the job as a go-to person, now I'm beginning to be looked at as an expert on the team. As an expert. So when they have round tables, when they have special guests that want to come in and they're trying to rewrite the procedures of certain type of processes, I'm being called to the table because of my leadership skills that I'm displaying. And before we get into the other skills, I want to talk to you about that, because a lot of you all, you want to be recognized on the job, but can I tell you, stop asking for recognition and work so hard and be the best at what you're doing that they have to recognize you. I never asked anybody to recognize me. What had happened was, y'all know how we do it, what had happened was this. I would see them walk into the boardroom and I would be like, where they going? Oh, they going to the boardroom. Well, why I'm not invited? I want to go to the boardroom. I want to go where the decision's made, right? So I would ask you, when people walk past you to the boardroom, you should have something inside of you that's like, man, I need to get in that boardroom. I should be in that boardroom. I got something to offer. But if you do got something to offer, let me ask you, what are you doing on the job to show them that you're different than everybody else, that you are a leader and that you deserve leadership roles? Because I hear a lot of people, and you've heard it too, where people say, they offer me the manager position, but I don't want all that. That's too much responsibility. You wasting time then. Why work on a job for 15, 20 years and you don't want to move up? Now, you have a right not to do that, but why wouldn't you want more responsibility? Because surely with more responsibility, more money should come. And you can say, well, because they not paying me no much. But let me tell you something about pay. You get what you negotiate. You get what you accept. That's in on the job, and that's in business. And studies show that women don't negotiate. So if somebody offer you a low salary, what women will do is just turn it down, and that's it. No rebuttal letter. Or they'll take the low salary because they don't have the confidence to rebuttal. And now they got more responsibility and a little pay, and now they're miserable, and now they're stressed out. So what I would like to tell you is this too. Stop accepting things you don't want. Negotiate. It's really a sign of leadership when I can ask you something, and instead of you just saying no, you come back with a rebuttal. That's a sign of leadership. If someone give you a price, it's okay to say, well, I was thinking maybe this. Right? So learn how to negotiate, because in life, you get what you negotiate, and you can't get mad if the next person got more money than you, because they probably negotiated and you didn't negotiate. Okay? Also, I would tell you too, before you become CEO, become employee of the month. Before you become CEO, become employee of the month. Because why not get paid for learning how to be a CEO on a job? Because I'm looking for a assistant, and you know what I told my assistants? I'm looking for somebody who can be CEO when I'm not available to be CEO. That's how you get promoted on a job. Where you can be manager when your manager is sick and can't come in for that day. Where you can be manager when your manager may need to go into the boardroom, and the boardroom meeting go over an hour, and you can just automatically just begin to go into manager mode without them telling you. And you should be, if you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to be a full-time entrepreneur, which I want you to be, because the feeling is great, you should be also though striving to be employee of the month. And this is not about butt kissing. This is about you displaying the leadership characteristics that is needed, not only to get promoted on a job, but to become CEO of your own company. Because with this title of CEO, there is a lot of administration. There is a lot of self-discipline. There is a lot of regimens that you got to have. And you should be using this time on your job while you're getting paid for it to learn how to be the best at what you're doing and learn how to be a good steward of another person's before you try to do it for yourself. Because when you leave your job, you leave your benefits. When you leave your job, you leave your consistent money for your consistent bills. And so if you go into entrepreneurship too prematurely without the proper skill set, you're going to be back at work, and you probably won't be back at the same job that you had, and you then lost now your seniority. You have to go back to your 90-day probation. This is what happened to me. So that's why I'm coming on here today to tell you that, yes, entrepreneurship is a great life. Being a full-time entrepreneurship is a great life. Like, for instance, it's snowing in Chicago. Do you know how good it felt that I did not have to get up and go out in the cold? But trust and believe, I still had a lot of work to do today. I work from home. This is how I work. I'm still dressed up like I have a job because, yes, some people can make millions in their pajamas, but the way I'm made up, I have to dress for success every day because I did it for someone else's business. How dare I not do it for my own? So those are heels you hear in my home office. I put on heels, I put on makeup, I put on jewelry, I put on perfume. Why? Yes, Alice, it is snowing in Chicago, and it is very, very cold. Very cold. But I'm a full-time entrepreneur, so I did not have to experience the cold today, but I still had to show up for success even though I work from my home office. And the reason why I do that is because I showed up for success when I worked for someone else. And now that I work for myself, how dare I not put on a dress for myself? How dare I not comb my hair for myself? Hey, Kim, how are you, love? How dare I not do that? And so today is all about the people who work the 9 to 5 because, yes, when you write your book, when you publish your book, it's going to give you some skills that you will be able to carry over into your profession, and you will start seeing yourself being promoted on the job because of the skills that you learned from a book. One of the skills that I learned was the confidence alone. I never forget, the president of the company came and he was telling the people, like, I need more leaders. I'm not seeing the leaders. I need more leaders. And after the event, I walked up to him, and me and him was talking for like 15 minutes. Now, he had this long line waiting for him, but he was talking to me for like 15 minutes. And afterwards, I will never forget, all of the managers, I was not even a manager at the time. All of the managers was like, oh my God, I can't believe you walked up to the president and y'all was talking for that long. And I was saying, I can't believe y'all afraid to talk to the president. But then it hit me. I wrote a book. This was my first book I wrote. I wrote a book. And by me writing a book, and by it increasing my writing skills, by it teaching me how to delegate and project plan and project management, and by it teaching me how to embrace large tasks, my confidence was up. So when I walked to that man and he was the president, I didn't walk up to him in fear. I didn't walk up to him feeling less than. I walked up to him with my shoulders back and my head up, and he respected that, and we was able to have a conversation, and everybody wondered where I had got the nerves and the audacity and the confidence to be in front of this president like this. And guess what? It came from me completing the task. It came from me completing a task that was in the form of publishing a book. And it was beginning to carry over into my professional skills on the job. So now after that, I'm on the radar. Because this lady, she's just really showing all type of leadership. Like, where did this come from? Came from publishing a book. The skills that it takes from publishing a book. Now, mind you, we haven't even talked about sales. Because a lot of people, they want to just get to the sales part. But it's a process. If you execute the process right, the sales is automatic. They're going to come. But you got to get the process right, right? You got to get the process right. So I'm publishing the book, and then I'm realizing that, wow, this book is teaching me how to make decisions. Because there are so many decisions that you have to make when publishing a book. What are some of the decisions? Decisions if you want to go with a regular publisher or non-traditional publisher. Do you want to self-publish? What's going to be the kind of book cover you have? What do you need an editor? Who's going to be your editor? What type of editor you need? And now that you know you want to publish a book and you want to self-publish, are you going to do it yourself, or are you going to choose a company? And if you're going to choose a company, what company are you going to choose? And what's going to be the price of your book? And that's just for the paperback book. What's going to be the price of the ebook? Look how many decisions you got to make when you go through the process. But you making those decisions is building your decision-making skill ability. It's building your project manager ability. It's building your time management ability. And now those skills that comes with just publishing a book, it's now carrying over to your 9 to 5, or you should be carrying over those skills to your 9 to 5, which makes your managers begin to look at you as a leader because you are displaying skills that the average people are not displaying. Here's some numbers for you. 85% of business owners want to write a book. Let me ask you a question. How many of the 85% do you think succeed? Put in a number for me in the comments. 85% of entrepreneurs want to publish a book. What percentage do you think complete publishing the book? I'll wait for you to put that in. What percentage do you think complete the book out of 85%? Yep. 85% want to publish a book. How many do you think complete the process of publishing a book? And this is going to show you why you're rare and why you are a leader. Alice says 20%. Anybody else out there? 85% want to publish a book, entrepreneurs and individuals. How many do you think complete the process? Kim says 10%. So the answer is 5%. 5% complete the process. So when I walked in that office, in my director's office with my book, and of course I strategized and put her in a dedication, right? Oh, I became rare. I became top 5% of the company immediately. And I didn't even do anything inside the company. But she knew, even though she hadn't completed a book, my director knew if you completed this, you got leadership qualities. If you completed publishing a book, you're a part of the top 5%. We need to give you more responsibility. Because you have to remember, nobody in the building of 300 had ever wrote a book. So this book right here, how skinny it is, it made me rare. It made me different. It distinguished me from my other coworkers. And immediately, within 3 weeks, I was interim manager based off this book right here. So I want you to understand that writing a book is more about just sharing your ideas. It's bigger than that. Writing a book is about making the connection and connecting the dots to success. Let me say that again for you. Writing a book is more than just sharing your ideas. It's about making the connection and connecting the dots to success. I'm able to work from home every day. I'm able to live the life that I've always I've seen other people do, which is go to Starbucks in the middle of the day and just work on their laptop, which is if they want to do a midday run, they can. If they want to drop their child off to school and pick their child up, they can. And that's because I wrote a book. And so I encourage you, complete the book, go through the processes and the skills that you get from writing your book and publishing your book, because that's two different things. You can write a book, but you still need to finish the process of publishing it. Carry those over to your 9-to-5. Don't let any full-time entrepreneur make you feel less than because you have a 9-to-5, because your 9-to-5 is your practice ground. And everybody may not want to be a full-time entrepreneur, but if you do want to be a full-time entrepreneur, complete the book and carry over the skills and allow the leadership skills that you get from writing your book, the confidence, the decision-making skills, the new perspective on large tasks, the project management skills, the delegating and resourcing skills, right? Allow those skills to carry over onto your job, and you should start becoming employee of the month. You should start coming the person that when your boss has to leave the office, they want you to watch over the office. You should be the person that when 5 o'clock come, you're not the first one out the door. You are the one who is still there, which is showing your boss that you're vested in the company. This is how I got promoted. And this is how I was able, once I left the job, I was able now this time to sustain it. And now I run multiple companies from my home. But it was because I wrote a book and I used the skill sets that I learned from this book. This small, thin book. It was my first baby, but it showed God I was ready, and it showed my leaders in the corporate world that I was ready. And I began to get promoted. So I just want to encourage you all today. Be a part of the top 5%. If you need some assistance with publishing your book, we have a few ways that Sophisticated Press can help you. We have an online self-taught academy that you can learn how to self-publish your book there. We also can have it where you can hire us and we will self-publish your book for you. We're also building a building. That's right. We're building a headquarters here where you can come to Illinois, Chi-Town, and yeah, absolutely, Alice. The title of the first book is Kingdom Speaking in the Boardroom. It is now revamped because, you know, when you know better, you do better, right? So this is the new version of it, Kingdom Speaking in the Boardroom. But this was my first book. This was my first book, and it changed my life. And now I'm running multiple companies. People hire me to run their company. I'm running other people's companies. But, you know, I do what I have to do, and I'm running my company and other people's companies, and but that's because of the leadership and the ability that that writing a book did for me. And you know what I did when I became a full-time entrepreneur? I was still getting emails from Indeed and Career Builder, and I just had to unsubscribe and say, I'm not going back this time. This is it. I know I can do it. But I had to learn the lessons in corporate. So do not despise your jobs. Don't be too quick to say I'm ready to go. Because like I said, when you leave, if you have to be able to take everything that you learned on that job into your business. Whether the good or the bad, you know, you take those skill sets and you apply it in your business. And then just lastly, like I was saying, if you have Publish Push, thank you so much. We are building this site for you all. Really, I want us to be able to have a place in Illinois where you can come and hold a conference if you want to hold a conference. You can come and do a book reading. You can come and just collaborate with other writers, authors, publishers, movie directors. And so we want want to be the premier spot that people come when they're looking for new scripts, when they're looking for storylines, when they're looking for books to turn into movies. We want to be that because the passion that we're showing for writers, no other publishers are doing that. I'm sorry, they're just not. They're not on social media doing lives. They may have commercials, but they're not talking to the people. And because God is the CEO of this company, he set us up to talk to the people and actually touch them and hug them and be there for them and just go through every process of the steps. So if you have Purchase Push, thank you. And I know Kim and Alice, you have supported it, and thank you. We're also going to be starting a GoFundMe page soon as well, because just one purchase of the book is not enough. And thank you, Kim actually purchased 2 copies, and I was like, yes, that's what I'm talking about, Kim. She purchased one for her and one for somebody else. And so kudos to both of you all for supporting Sophisticated Press. I can't wait to meet both of you all in the building when we get it up. It should be done. We're aiming for the 1st of February for everything to be done in the building. But we need your help, you know, and we need the writers' help. So we will be having a GoFundMe page up soon. But I just wanted to really just encourage you all today, because sometimes if we're not careful as full-time entrepreneurs, we'll make the people who have a job think that they're not good enough, or they're less than, or their faith isn't great enough. No, keep your job until you have a plan, and until your book is in so much demand that you have to leave your job. But don't just leave your job because you publish one book. That's not the message here. The message here today is learn the skills and the process from the processes that go with the book. Make sure that those processes carry over to your job, so you're steady getting promoted and you're steady getting more responsibility, which is going to give you more skills. So if the Lord do call you into being a full-time writer, if the Lord does call where somebody come and they make your book into a series, into a documentary, into, you know, a TV special, you'll have the skill set to support your destiny. All right. Well, you know how we end it here at Sophisticated Press. Listen, we love you so much with the love of Jesus Christ. We are so proud of you, and we know you can do it, and we shall talk to you soon.